guys, it's been a long time, hasn't it? But thank you so much to those who understand my little situation of my health problems and the fact that my mum has Alzheimer's. And yes, lots of juice to get into today, so let's dive in.
Everything I talk about in my videos is my opinion only, so sit back, relax, grab yourself a cuppa or a drink of your choice and enjoy.
So we all know bullying allegations have been swirling about our Meggy Poo since 2018, or I'd say 2016 maybe, when she got her grubby little hands on Haz. We all remember the Sussex Survivors Club, the poor Sussex Survivors Club that Valentine Lowe broke, who wrote courtiers. But I didn't think for 1 second that Vanity Fair, the Hollywood Bible, would do a full 180 on her. Well, I'd say 180 on both of them, really. But it was more on her, I'd say. Now, they branded her Duchess Difficult. Now, we all remember in 2017 when she did that front cover spread with Vanity Fair saying, "Oh, I'm a princess now," wearing one of the most ugliest dresses I've ever seen in my life. So, Duchess Difficult, eh? Now, how has she earned that title? Well, multiple sources have come out that have worked for her and said she's an absolute tyrant to work for and is, quote, ruthless and demanding. So an employee that worked for her on Archetypes took a leave of absence to have therapy. Yes, therapy after working for that absolute tyrant. And then she left altogether. So when she was a very brief working royal, the angry 5 a.m. emails seems to have carried through from them. I mean, who the hell does she think she is? Email employees outside of work hours. What is she doing at 5 a.m. to get her so angry and fired up? So, as I've said, a good friend of mine that I got back in touch with is a freelance journalist. Let's say she has her fingers in a few pies, get your mind out the gutter, meaning she has many sources. I mean, she doesn't just tell me tidbits about the Sussexes, she tells me tidbits about all sorts, really. So, Haz, according to her, I mean, as if we didn't already know this, when she's going off on her employees, the absolute specimen Haz either stays quiet or walks out of the bloody room and just lets her continue. So we'll come back to some of the stuff she did tell me. But while our Meggy Poos was a brief working royal, our lovely late queen had to slap her down quite a few times for being rude to staff. As did our lovely Prince William, which was the start of the rift between the two brothers. All in Meggy Poo's little plan, in my very, very strong opinion. So this is why I think they will be dropped by Netflix, as bosses at Netflix have come out and said they are, quote, exhausted to continue working for her, as all they've had is very lazy work. So what have we had? We've had their reality TV show, which was initially highly viewed but made the couple bomb in the US. Also, they've had The Heart of Invictus. Also, they've had Haz's very boring polo documentary. I mean, I would be very exhausted too. I mean, how long do they have to wait for such lazy content from both of them? I mean, Haz's polo bombed in reviews, completely bombed. He got the maximum of 2 stars. That was it. And now they have We Love Meghan. Oh my God, that is the most narcissistic name, as I've said, I've ever heard of in my life. So that's been delayed from January to March out of respect of the devastating wildfires over in California, where people have lost their lives, lost their homes, and many still missing. So they took their usual paps and camera crew over to the people who have lost their homes, etc., faking compassion. And don't be fooled, people, this is all self-serving PR.
So they just arrived here not that long ago, and we were alerted to the fact that they were here. Earlier today, we also had an opportunity to grab first partner Jennifer Siebel Newsom, who was also giving out food. You see, there we have a better shot of Princess Markle as Meghan, as she's wearing that LA ball cap and talking to some of the volunteers.
I mean, what is going on in her head? Is it all just rainbows, sunshine, and just the occasional thought in her effing brain? I mean, we all know it was to make headlines, as she, in particular, absolutely wants that. So yes, very fair, Netflix. You have to now wait till March until this latest content is dropped. I mean, how long do they have to wait for such lazy work and all Meggy Pooz's high demands? I mean, this is so damning. So multiple sources that have worked for her have said she could have, quote, psycho moments and could be a demon. Wowee. So another employee has quoted, she is lovely if things go her way. Now, my friend did say, with love, Meghan has been delayed because it's not ready. Nothing to do with the wildfires in California. Nothing to do with that. It's not ready. I mean, what could not be ready about with love, Meghan? Sorry, I have to just say it like that because it's so narcissistic. How long does she need for that? It's such lazy work. A bit of cooking, speaking to friends. How long does she need for that? So I know I'm digressing now, as I do. We all remember Haz saying, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. I'm sure he regrets saying that now, but I believe if Meggy Poos had an actual office that wasn't in a 13-bedroom mansion, she would literally walk in saying, morning, minions! Who does that Z-list celebrity think she is? Honestly. So, a few little tidbits that my source, I'm only joking, my friend of mine told me, which you know is a freelance journalist. So, she said that Haz is in the UK more than we know of, under the wing of the Spencers. So, allegedly, in many disguises, he has been going to see King Charles to try and get back into the royal fold and try and pick up more royal duties. Why is this? I mean, we all know why it is. Him and Meggy Poos are not together, and you know, a divorce is on the cards now. So this is why, apparently, he's back and forth from the UK to LA to see his children mainly. We were laughing about, is that robot's bollock really smart enough to pull this off? But with the royal family protecting him, yes, I do believe that he's pulling this off. So mainly the meetings with King Charles, as he's a very kind man, and we have to remember this is his youngest son. So he's been having meetings with him to see how they can try and get him back into the royal fold and how they can trust him again because of all the security breaches that was in their reality TV show and in Spare. Or wow. Plus, he revealed many secrets about the royal family, which they strongly protect. So, I don't know how they're going to trust him again, but apparently they are trying to work it out. So, Prince William will be a tougher nut to crack. Apparently, there hasn't been any meetings with him as of yet, but apparently Haz wants to apologise to him now after demanding so many apologies from Prince William after doing what exactly? What? So, yeah, he'll be a tough nut to crack due to all the things he's had thrown at his wife in particular. Racism being one of them, which is the worst thing you can be called if you are not one, especially, which King Charles as I've said before, King Charles and Princess Catherine are no racists, as revealed in the Dutch version of Endgame, written by the creepy Omid Scobie, who still maintains that he's not in touch with the couple. I mean, whatever, mate. It's absolute bullshit. You are totally in touch with the couple. You have been ever since you branded yourself a royal reporter. Nope, you have never been a royal reporter, just a mouthpiece for those two. So I believe, in my very, very strong opinion, that this was all in the Sussexes' grubby little plan again to reveal in the Dutch version that Princess Catherine knew she'd be named due to Meggie Pooz's complete jealousy over her. So, yeah, that was all in their grubby little plan. They wanted their names outed in some version, and it was in the Dutch version, blaming it on the poor translator. I mean, what would she gain from that at all? Now, allegedly, again, with these meetings with King Charles, he's categorically said no Meggie Poos within like the royal fold or anything like that. They will only tolerate her due to the children. That is it. I will use their titles when they're back in the royal fold, as it's ridiculous them being a prince and princess in the US. The US do not want a royal family. They literally fought a war not to have one. So again, allegedly, Meggie Poos is playing the same narcissistic power play with Has as she does with the royal family. It is all on her terms when he can see the children, which is completely unfair on both. Well, Has is made his bed, so I won't say it's unfair on him, but it's completely unfair on the royal family. What have they actually done to her that is so bad that they can't even see Lily and Archie? And Lily and Archie, as I've said before, are missing out on two amazing families. I mean, Meggie Poos is just being cruel at this point on them, I believe. So, Meggie Poos, or her camp, has leaked that she now wants to apologise to the royal family after all the insults she's poured over them like bloody lava. She wants to apologise to them now. Are they going to accept it? I don't think so. Certainly not Prince William, that's for sure. I mean, why did she want to apologise to her own family? Oh, because they don't have the platform the royal family has. That is why. I feel so sorry for the Markles, particularly Thomas Markle Sr. in this situation, hearing she wants to apologise to the royal family, but not to them. I mean, that is so cruel. I think we all know that Thomas Markle Sr. hasn't got long for this world, and now he has to hear that Meggie Poos wants to apologise to just the royal family due to the platform they have, and she is nothing, absolutely nothing without them. She's tried to break Hollywood with her amazing acting skills, podcasts, which she was dropped from very embarrassingly, and all of the many lazy stuff that's come out on Netflix and due to come out on Netflix. I mean, what's happened to ARO? I can't pronounce it, I'm so sorry, but what's happened to that? It's just gone, hasn't it? I mean, I keep checking the Insta page and she's losing subs by the day, very far from that 1 million mark. So what the hell has happened to ARO? I mean, what is it with that couple with just starting stuff and stopping? Starting, stopping. I mean, what happened to the Parents Network? They did a few lazy Zoom calls, that was it. I mean, not very compassionate, that is it? A few lazy Zoom calls, and then they did their spiel over in Colombia. That was it for the Parents Network. That was it. So this is why she wants to apologise, as nothing has worked out for her for the last 5 years since she dragged Has away from the UK to LA, which does not suit him at all. He just wanders around, doesn't he, doing car park patrols with her. That's it. So she started out at the very place where she began, as she wants to be an influencer again now. Oh, we can't wait for that. Oh, we're all on our edge of our seats for that, Meggie Poos. Oh my God. So she's back to the very place where she started, where she deserves, after everything she's done. So Meggie Poos has been speaking to publishers about a book called Post-Divorce. Now, this could be about that Titamaboob has ready for their divorce that will happen this year, or it could be about Trevor Ingleston, which I'm really hoping it's not, as he's living a very private life with his lovely wife and his 2 children. Now, he could have come out with a book about her and everything she did to him, and he's not. He stayed very quiet about her. So if she writes a book about him, wow, that is Meggie Poo's disrespect again, 2.0. Now, I know I'm digressing again here, but also I think she wanted to go back to California for invites for things like the Met Gala, which was started by Eleanor Lambert, who is a very true royalist. Also, invites to the Oscars, which she's never had. So embarrassing. So, of course she wants to apologise to the royal family, and I'm sure they can see straight through that also. Because what has she got apart from those titles? What has she got? Nothing is the answer. Nothing. Plus, the Hollywood elite are absolutely sick of them and don't trust them. This is why Meggie Poos is always a +1 to these red carpet events that she goes to and just completely hijacks all the time. Also, their neighbours are completely sick. I mean, can you imagine living next door to the likes of those two? So their neighbours have said, quote, they're the most entitled people they ever come across, and they are so sick of living near them. And they also keep themselves to themselves. So again, digressing, so back to their PR stunt on the back of the wildfires in California. Now, did the multimillionaires make any donations? Nope, not one. All they did was give them a few food parcels, probably full of Meggie Poos' jams that have now turned into pedigree chum. So the multimillionaires themselves are planning a fundraiser. They haven't named what or when it's going to be, but they're going to do a fundraiser for the wildfires and the people who've lost their homes, etc. I mean, a fundraiser? I mean, what about all the donations to Archwell? Where's that going? So Meggie Poos in a 13-bedroom mansion in Montecito, baking a few cookies and talking to friends that have helped her social climb isn't really a good look when thousands have lost their homes over in California. I mean, this is why apparently she's delayed it. Don't be fooled, people. Like I said before, she's delayed it as it's not ready yet. So another amazing feature in With Love Meghan is her love for bees, right out of her cosplaying and plagiarising handbook. Who else is a beekeeper and has a love for bees and promotes them a lot? Our lovely Princess of Wales. Does Meggie Poos have one creative bone in her body? At all. This is why I call her a pseudo-feminist, because what the hell is that content? And also, she likes to patronise us all in there by saying things like, elevate the ordinary. I mean, what the hell does that mean? I think this With Love Meghan should come with titles, because I can never understand a word she's saying in her speeches or anything. Sorry, I meant to say subtitles then, I said titles. What I like. So also has faced criticism for coming across as fake and phony during his brief cameos on this With Love Meghan. So anyway, that's it for me today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed my very long video on the Sussexes. I'm so sorry it's been so long to get out there. You know, I've had health problems. You know, me mama's Alzheimer's. I'm not all victim like Meggie Poos. Don't you worry about that. But thank you for understanding my little situation. And get subscribing, people. Please ring that notification bell, subscribe and share, as My goal, as you all know, is 1K when I close my business, just to see how I get from there. So anyway, guys, much love.